Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a throwaway account in the relationship advice subreddit. The post is titled, "My boyfriend planned a road trip with me and his 3 friends. I have been uninvited. For starters, my boyfriend and I have been dating for 4 years. Our anniversary was in April, and for it, we had planned to do a road trip. Obviously, that couldn't happen. Last month, he brought up the idea of a road trip with me, his friends, 22F and 24M, and his friend's girlfriend, 24F. This would be happening next year. I thought this was a good idea as I am friends with his male friend and his girlfriend, but not necessarily his female friend. To tell you the truth, I've always been quite wary of their relationship. My previous boyfriend cheated on me, and I still have some insecurities I need to sort out. I hadn't heard more about it since the trip was first mentioned, so I asked my boyfriend if it would still be going ahead. He said they had decided it would be a no girlfriends allowed trip. I was fine with that. He and I could always go ourselves another time, and I know friends need time to hang out without their partners. Nothing more was said about it until today, when I happened to glance at his screen and saw that they had made a group chat and were talking about it. I also saw that his friend's girlfriend was messaging in it. I asked him why she was in it if she's not going. He got defensive and instantly turned his screen away from me. I asked him why he did that, and he said it's a private conversation. I then asked if I could look through the messages. I found out that she is still invited, and it's just me who has been uninvited. I would understand if she were one of his friends, but she's actually not. In fact, I haven't heard him say one nice word about her. I guess my boyfriend just doesn't want me there, but is fine with someone he dislikes. I feel so left out as I was made to believe I was part of this friendship group, but none of them have even asked me why I'm not going. I don't know if I've misconstrued the situation and have made a big deal out of nothing, but I'm just incredibly hurt by this, as it's not exactly fair that she gets to go when I can't. I'm planning on talking to him about it tomorrow, but I just want to get advice." 4 days later, OP created another post. I really hesitated to post an update, but I've received many messages inquiring about it. Thank you to everyone who gave advice. I confronted my boyfriend the day after posting this. It turns out he didn't want to tell me that his friend's girlfriend despises me. I was shocked by this, as when we've been around her, she's been nothing but nice to me. He showed me a private message she had sent him in which she demanded that I not go on the trip. She also told him I was cheating on him. I was really shocked, so I messaged her, and she said she was uncomfortable with her boyfriend being around me because I was really flirty with him the last time we hung out. That's absolutely not true. If I were being flirty, don't you think my boyfriend would have seen that? Plus, I have enough respect for my boyfriend that I absolutely would not do that ever. My boyfriend has told me stories in the past about how his friend's girlfriend is very controlling and paranoid about other girls and won't even let him have female friends. I just didn't think she'd act that way with me. The only thing I can think of is that when we last hung out, I accidentally touched his leg as we were sitting in a cramped booth together, so she's definitely reaching there. Also, during that night, she made a huge deal about him messaging another girl, so much so that we had to leave early because she demanded to go home. My boyfriend kept what she had sent him to himself as he didn't want to cause any more rifts. He only has the 2 friends. He made up the excuse so as not to hurt my feelings. I get it, I do, but I'm an adult and I can handle someone disliking me. He thought he was sparing my feelings, but why he thought I would be more hurt by someone I barely know disliking me than by being essentially uninvited from our anniversary trip is beyond me. It feels as if he took her side in it. I know he hates confrontation and that's fine for him, but I want a boyfriend who can stand up for me. He doesn't even know her, for God's sake. I'm assuming he didn't want to lose his friend. His girlfriend is very manipulative. To tell you the truth, I also thought he was planning on hooking up with his female friend. With 2 guys and 2 girls going, how could I not think that? I'm not breaking up with him. We talked about it and he's not going on the trip. He's told his male friend the situation and he is likely going to break up with his girlfriend, as this isn't the first time she's done this. If anything is unclear, I apologize. It's a whole mess. After another month, OP made one more smaller post. I broke up with him. I've been reading all the comments on both posts and have come to the realization that I'm unhappy, and that's likely not going to change unless I do something about it. In the comments, user MyChanaconda Don't said, it's the fact that it was supposed to be an anniversary trip for me. 4-year anniversary trip. 4 years. In response, user Miserable Fennel said, that part had me fucked up. From the very beginning, I was like, how is that not your main issue here? How did it even get into all that other shit? One more comment made under that thread by user Clean Professional said, lockdown was wild time. I think that people just got used to major things getting moved or outright canceled. Plus, he might not have been able to see those friends at all for months. Especially if they lived together, then I can see where she might have been more inclined to let him do the trip and maybe plan something bigger for their next anniversary. This next post was made in the AITA subreddit by a user named Zesty Closeclaw. The post is titled, My mom told her boyfriend that I was lame like my dad, so I stopped talking to her. So last year my mom, 38F, left my dad for her old boyfriend Mike. He got out of jail and my mom and dad were arguing a lot, so she left to be with him. I've met Mike a few times, but generally when I'm with my mom or at her place, it's just her and me because she says she doesn't want to share her time with me with anyone else. Except since they've gotten together, my mom has changed a lot. For one, she dresses differently and is much more affectionate. When she picks me up from school, she's always wearing Lululemon and will wait outside the car to hug and kiss me in front of everyone before we can leave. Sometimes she hugs me in the morning until I wake up. She's made me start going to the gym with her and take my uncle's taekwondo classes, and on Sundays, she makes me wake up at 6 unless it's raining to go on runs. She always makes me get so tired at the gym, and my uncle is harder on me than anyone else in his class. The morning runs ruin Sundays for me. I've told her all this, but she says it's for my own good and especially gets upset when I complain about my uncle. 2 days ago, I tried calling my mom about something I left at her place, but she didn't pick up. She butt dialed me afterward, and when I answered, I could hear her, but she couldn't hear me. She was talking to Mike. It was just small talk, but then Mike brought me up, and I heard her say to Mike straight up, he's so lame, just like his dad. Then he asked if my mom would choose him over me, and she said something like, obviously I'd choose my son, and that he needs to start being active in my life so I end up like him and not my dad. It made me so mad, and I still feel that way. Yesterday, she surprised me by picking me up from my uncle's class to take me to Dairy Queen, and I just couldn't talk to her. She got really worried that something was wrong with me, and when she dropped me off at my dad's, I know they got into an argument. I'm not really sure what to type, but I feel like I need to write about some things that have happened. When I was writing my last post, I was reading the Expanse books, and there's a part in the second one about moms not seeing their kids. I know that's so different from my situation, and it's not real, but I think that's what got me really emotional and scared. I didn't realize that until I looked back at it. So my dad basically told me that I needed to talk to my mom because he didn't want to deal with her, and she was going to pick me up from school so we could work it out. When she did, I just tried talking to her like normal or lied, but she knew I was lying and seemed really worried. So I told her everything and it made her cry. I felt really awful, but then she started apologizing to me, which was really weird. She told me that she shouldn't have said that she was wrong to say it, and that I'm not lame. She said that I'm her only child and that sometimes she gets jealous of how much I'm like my dad and wishes I was more like her. She ranted about how much she hates my dad and how he ruined her life, saying it was his fault she said it. Then she started saying she'd die without me and promised that she was going to make it up to me and never say something like that again. Since then, she really has tried. She'll come to school randomly during lunchtime and drop off lunch for me, make special dinners, or even help out with my uncle's classes. She's not as good as him, but knows the lessons. But literally the week after, she also forced me to go to counseling with her and is making me go with her every week now. All we do there is talk, and we've talked so much now about what she said and how I felt about it that I'm kind of annoyed by it. So yeah, I don't really like it, but she seems to think it's helping, and she even said she should have made us go the moment she left my dad. Besides that, Mike proposed to my mom and she accepted, and she honestly seems happier than she's ever been. She's been hanging out with his daughter and his niece a lot too, to plan her wedding. I'm still not close to him or anything, but I don't know. I don't feel like I can say anything with how happy my mom is. I mean, she's calling all our relatives to tell them the news and telling me to start writing my speech. Dad's been pissed off ever since he found out. And the worst part is that after she made me admit this in counseling, she listened to the therapist and wants me to start going to sessions by myself. She said my uncle will take me on the days that she's going to book for me, so I won't feel any pressure from her. I just hate it. I hate talking about these things, and I wish I didn't have to. In the comments, user NewtonTonC said the "he was innocent anyway, don't worry about it" response would ramp my anxiety up so much. This poor kid. In response, user Littlest Echo said, "What concerns me most is the mom's sudden desire that her son be in peak physical condition. He's running every day, going to the gym, doing taekwondo. I mean, yeah, kids need to be healthy and active, but she's really pushing this hard. It could be she just wants something to bond over or do together while proving she's a good health-conscious mom. But she's also love-bombing the shit out of him. She's acting desperate, and it's wigging her kid out." Then a user named Now With Extra Salt said, "There isn't one adult I like in this. Hopefully he gets a good therapist at individual therapy and he gets some support." This final post was made in the TIFU subreddit by a user named Cycler. The post is titled, "I messed up my wife's birthday present." So let me preface this by saying that my wife is not a gamer, but I managed to get her into Animal Crossing and she's put 130 hours into it over the last year. I've never played it myself, but she has a great time, so we're all happy. Cut to today, where I am in possession of a shiny new Switch 2. I thought it would be nice to give her my old Switch and buy her a copy of Animal Crossing for her birthday. So I transferred all my data off, initialized the old Switch, and waited. Well, when she booted up her very own copy on her very own Switch, she was prompted to start a new island. Weird. I poked around for a bit as the horrifying realization dawned on me. Her island didn't transfer. It turns out you need to do a manual backup, and I didn't know that. So now her island is gone, and she is devastated that I nuked 130 hours of her life. Happy birthday. The very next day, OP created an update. Yesterday, I posted about how I had messed up by deleting my wife's Animal Crossing island in a failed transfer. She was very sad, but I promised her I'd start my own island and play with her so she wouldn't have to rebuild by herself. When I went to start my own island, Tom Nook told me he had some old save data he didn't know what to do with. It turned out it was my wife's island. I went in on her account, enabled backup, and let it do its thing. The backup saved overnight, and she was able to log into her island this morning with everything still intact. Not much more to share, really, thanks to everyone who wished me well and gave advice on how to recover it. In the comments, a user named 54NewNew said, "This post is bringing back my PTSD from my university days, when I worked on an essay for hours without hitting save, and then a computer restart erased everything. The horror. I'm so paranoid that to this day I still hit save every 3 letters, even though everything is backed up to OneDrive and every letter I type gets auto-saved." Another user named Butterscotch Bubbly said, so his birthday gift to her was a leftover Switch from buying himself a shiny new Switch 2. Under this comment, user Charlie Worrells said, he's so snarky about the whole, I didn't mention the necklace and plush I brought her because I didn't mess it up. But dude, those were her birthday presents. You giving her your old Switch is just you saving yourself the energy of getting rid of it some other way. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, Gamersupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.